Hi everybody, I'm going to make a quick video here for you that shows you how to get to the Keller Williams side of DocuSign and also how to make it easy to be able to go get documents that you want to just print off or download to your computer. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to hit the three dots over here. I want to make sure that I'm in Google Chrome, remember, and we're going to click the three dots. We're going to go to a new incognito window. And the right way to get to DocuSign, that is the Keller Williams side of DocuSign, is realestate.docusign.com. And then we're going to provide our login information. Password. Okay, so this brings up a good point too. Some of you have used the same email address that you're using for your Keller Williams DocuSign when you created a DocuSign account in the past. And you're gonna see a screen that is very similar to mine where it has your two names and it'll have different information under each name. Normally it should. So the one that we want to use is the Keller Williams Realty Incorporated. That lets us know that this is the Keller Williams Realty International account, and this is the one that's tied to our DocuSign for Keller Williams. So that's the one that we're going to use. We're going to click on that, and that should bring me to my DocuSign account. Okay, if you get this congratulations authorized, don't worry about it. If you're this far, you've already authorized anyway. If you did the setup the way that we instructed in the setup video, this will keep popping up. Hopefully it eventually goes away, but just X out of that. And then you'll be in your dashboard for the Keller Williams side of DocuSign. It's very important that you go to realestate.docusign.com. If you go to docusign.com, it's not going to work the right way. So make sure you put the realestate.docusign.com. Okay, so what I recommend that you do, you'll see that I have this room here called Documents Download. So I'm going to walk you through how we do that, and that's the best way I've found to be able to download and print blank documents. The problem is that if I was to go into My Docs and then go to Forms and then go to the Florida Association of Realty Forms, and let's just say I want to pull up the residential contract. When it comes up, there's actually no way for me to download this or print it. It has a watermark over it, and this is just a kind of peek at what the document is to make sure that it's the document that you want. But there's no option here to download or print it. So that's not going to work. And the best trick that I found is to go into Rooms. And then once we're in Rooms, we're going to click New for Add a New Room. We're going to call the room name Document Download. If there's something else that makes sense to you for how we're going to use this room, then that's fine. Call it that. For me, it just makes sense to call it Document Download. And then we're going to select agent owner is fine, select a side. It does make you select a side, I believe. So we're just gonna, I just use list and by side, and then create. Okay, so now we have this room called Document Download. I have another one here because it's the one that I actually use, but for training purposes, I'm going to walk you through this one. Okay, so I have this room now called Document Download. I'm going to click on that to get into that room. And now I'm going to go to Documents. Okay, so it says Add Documents to your room. This is for a document upload from your computer. If I want to add documents from my form templates, I need to go over here to Add. And then we're going to go DocuSign Forms. We're going to leave this at DocuSign Forms Library, and we're going to select the library. The library is going to be Florida Association of Realtors. And let's say I want to bring in the buyer brokerage agreement. So the exclusive buyer brokerage agreement transaction broker, this is the one that we want to use. I'm going to click that and add. Then that will add that to the room. And now you can see that when I click on this document, because it's actually in a room that I created, now I have the option, if I click on this document actions icon up here, now I have the ability to download this or print it and get the blank, non-watermarked form. So that's the best way that I found to be able to access documents for download or printing without having the watermark, and to make it easy. So basically what you're going to do within that room documents download is you're going to bring in all the documents that you might need, the most common documents, so our contracts, our buyer brokerage agreement, popular addendums, things like that, things that you want to access all the time, the seller's disclosure, and that's going to be the best way that you can actually go find a form quickly, print it out. Like the seller's disclosure, we're typically going to take that on a listing appointment with us and leave it for the seller to fill out. So this is the best way that I found to do that. Okay, so now we see how easy it is that we can either print or download a document once we've put it into our document download room. So I'm going to go ahead and click out of here. Okay, so now that we have our document download room set up, I want to show you how easy it is to organize these documents so you don't have to weed through a whole bunch of documents that are just all lumped together. So we're going to go over here to Actions. We're going to say Add Folder, and you'll start to see here how I can get super organized within this room. So I'm going to call this Buyer Documents and Create. Okay, so we're going to add another folder here, and we're going to call this Listing Documents. Create. And then we're going to create another folder. We're going to call this Purchase Documents. Create. And now we're going to start to add some more contracts and addendums and get them moved into the appropriate folder. When you do add a document, they're always going to drop down into room docs down here, and then you're going to have to grab them and move them to the appropriate folder. So let me show you how that works. We're going to go to DocuSign Forms, and we're going to select Florida Association of Realtors. I'm going to choose the As Is residential contract. I'm going to add that, and you'll see that that's automatically going to throw it down here into the room docs. So I'm going to take that from room docs, and I'm going to move it into purchase documents. Okay, so it is now in purchase documents, and then you can see from the buyer brokerage agreement, we want that to be up in our buyer document. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it into buyer documents. Okay, so now you can see how we can start to organize this document download room and make sure that we're making things easy for ourselves to be able to go get the documents that we need in a very systematic way. Okay, so let's get a listing document in here. I'm going to go to Add, DocuSign Forms, Florida Association of Realtors, and I'm going to look for the exclusive right of sale. And the important thing here is I want to make sure that I have the transaction broker exclusive right of sale listing agreement. That's going to be this one right here, the ERS 17TB. I'm going to select that and add. Okay, again, that's going to go down here into our room docs. So one thing I can do is I can minimize this folder so that I can close that up and get that out of my way, make a little bit more room so I can see what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to take this form and I'm going to put it in listing documents. And now I want to go get the seller's disclosure. So back to add, DocuSign forms, and Florida Association of Realtors. And I want the seller's disclosure. Okay, so seller's property disclosure. Notice there's two different ones. One's for a condominium and one is for typical residential single-family homes. So that's the one I'm going to select for here. I could, of course, put both of them in there if I want, if that's what makes sense for me. I could also have a listing a condo folder and put those forms in there so it's completely organized and separate so I know exactly what I need depending on what type of property I'm listing. All right, so I'm going to add that, and I'm going to move that up here to this folder in listing documents. And now that has been moved. All right, so there's some useful tricks, I think, on how to use DocuSign to your advantage. How to be able to, one, get into DocuSign without having to go through opportunities. If you're working on a transaction, you still need to go through opportunities because that's how opportunities in DocuSign line up so that you can get paid through the system. That part is not working yet, but it will, so it's good to get in the habit of doing things the right way through opportunities. However, if you're just wanting to get into DocuSign to go grab a form or go view a form or download a form, then this is a great trick to do that. So I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. If there's any other videos you'd like to see, comment with those ideas as well. And good luck, have fun, and explore the technology.